So, and then guys, I will like here solve and discuss, and for some questions maybe I will ask about your like version, if that like your answer as well, and also like the Desmos way. So let's start with the first question of the first model. It is now saying that one of the two equations in the system of linear equation is given. The system has infinitely many solutions. If the second equation in this system y equals mx plus b, where m and b are constant, what's the value of b? Guys, you are given an equation like linear equation, and here 9 is the slope and 19 is our like y-intercept. And if they have like the infinitely many solution, that means you must have the same slope and same y-intercept. So the y-intercept of the second function, which is b, must be also 19. Like you must have the same equation, y equals like 9x plus 19. And then, as you guys can see, b is 19 here. So the second question, if 5x plus 2 equals 32, what is the value of 50x plus 20? Okay, that is possible with Desmos. So what we're gonna do, like we have to find 5x1 plus 2 now equals like 32, and question is asking to find 50x1 plus 20. Okay, the final answer is now 320. So the answer is D here. And question 3. In each of the following data set of 5 values, P is a constant. Which of this data set has the largest standard deviation? Guys, standard deviation we can find with Desmos as well. And instead of P, guys, you can use any number now because that P is a constant. So how to calculate the standard deviation? You will write STDEV, like the standard deviation. And then the first one, like P minus 4, okay? And we have like 4P, so with comma, okay? And final one, P plus 4. P plus 4. And okay, I'm gonna add, like let's say P is like 6. And then the standard deviation is 2.52 here in the A option, and let's check the option B. So we have now P minus 1, and then again P minus 1, and P in the middle, and P plus 1, and P plus 1 again. So the standard deviation here is 1, guys. And then option like C, all of them are P, guys. This is like the smallest standard deviation here. Like all of them are just P, as you can see, like 0 standard deviation. And then the last one here, like P minus 5, P minus 4, and we have P in the middle, and P plus 4, and P plus 5. Of course, guys, now the option D has the highest standard deviation, which is 4.52. So the answer D here. And question 3, 4. A jar has 4 sooty marbles, and 20% of them, 20% of these marbles are blue. How many marbles in the jar? Okay. So, guys, look, it is also just a Desmos rule, like 20% of the marbles are blue, and we have to find blue. So I'm gonna write it down, like blue equals 20% of 430. And now it is 86. So the answer is A here. Question 5. For which of the following tables are all the values of R and their corresponding values of G solutions to the given equality? Guys, here I can replace R, G with X and Y, and then enter the given points here. So look, I'm going to write X plus Y, now less than 56, and just create a table to add the points here. So 0, 55, 0, 55, and check whether it is in the shaded region. And of course it is, like the first point, and check the rest. So 2, 53, it is again, and then 4 and 51. So, yep guys, the answer is now A. All of them are lying in the shaded region. That's all. And question 6. The scatter plot showed the relation between the square footage of 12 clothing stores and their annual sales in millions of dollars. According to the trend shown by the data, which of the following is the best prediction for the annual sales in millions of dollars of a clothing store that is 4,000 square feet? Guys, that is just asking the value of Y when X equals 4, because it is in the square footage. And here, guys, like based on the dots, the approximate line is going to be something like this, like the line of best fit. And when your value of X is 4, the possible Y value is 7, around 7. Yeah, the answer is now C. So out of like 6 questions, we solved 2 by hand. And question 7, the solution to the given system of equation is xy. What is the value of y? That one is like, of course, that's possible. So it is now x plus y, which equals 165, and then x plus, okay guys, like I'm just writing 2y, which equals 185. And then the solution is here for like 145 and 20. So that's asking for y, which is 20 here. And the function f is defined by this. What is the y-intercept of the graph of y equals f of x in the xy plane? Okay, guys, you can also like do it with Desmos as well. But if you know the concept, that's a lot like easier. So 6x minus 1 over 7. And guys, 1 over 7 itself is now our y-intercept. Like here, like negative 1 over 7 itself is the y-intercept. Which equals now, as you can see, with this number. So now the answer is A here. Because that value of x 0, the value of y was negative 1 over 7. And question 9. So we have the table. If one of these people is selected random, what's the probability of selecting a person who chooses a vegetarian entry? Guys, that's now the probability question, and we cannot solve it like fully by Desmos. You have to know the concept. Like you're selecting out of 50 people and you need the probability of an entry, which is a vegetarian entry, 9. So that's just 9 over 50. So, and then question 10. In the figure shown, lines L and K are parallel and line T intersect both lines. If x is greater than 116, which of the following must be true? Guys, x and y angle have their sum like 180. Since the lines are parallel, x plus y equals 180. And if x is greater than 116, so y must be less than 54. Because if x is getting bigger, y is getting like smaller, like it is 64. So the answer is A here. That's all. And then question 11. So we have, just a minute. Okay, in the xy plane, the graph of y equals 2x intersect the graph of y equals this at 2 points. What is the sum of the x coordinates of the 2 points of intersection? Totally Desmosable. So, write both equations, y equals 2x, and then y equals x squared minus 35. So, and then look for their intersection points. Okay, the first intersection point, the x coordinate is -5, so it is -5, and then 7. So -5 plus 7, guys, because that's asking for sum, and then it is 2. Question 12, the function f is defined by this. What is the value of f of 1 over 4? Again, like Desmosable, but here, guys, if you just use your logic a bit, that is a bit easier, like because when you apply 1 over 4 instead of x, you're gonna have 0 here, right? Like everything just gets 0, and you're gonna have only 13 over 4. But if you want to solve by Desmos, like you have to write the equation f of x now equals 3 times 1 over 4 minus x, and we got a square plus 13 over 4, right? And then you have to write f of 1 over 4, which is 3.25 or 13 over 4. Yep, Desmos. And so you are given a box plot, and that's saying that we've got a sample of 70 soil bats from this habitat. What is the range? Oh, guys, the range means it is the maximum value minus minimum value. And in the box plot, guys, this line represents us the minimum value, like it is all the time minimum. And that one is the maximum value in the data set, like which is now 49, right? So maximum 49 minus minimum 34, your range is now 15. The answer is B. And question 14, the area of the triangle, guys. You have to know how to find the area. It is A times height divided by 2, and A is the base. Height, like H, is the height. And you got the area which is 150, and what is the height? Okay, if you have a base 10, So you can, guys, do the calculation with decimals, like not fully by decimals, but the calculation part. A multiplied by, oh, we know the A, which is 10, multiplied by height, divided by 2. So height is now 30. The answer, C. And question 15, what is one of the solutions to the given equation? Guys, again, like to find the solutions, totally dismissible, but you have to check it with the options one by one after getting the answers. Like x squared, we have minus 2x equals minus 2x now equals 29. And our solutions are this, and you have to change, like you have to check the options. So the square root of 29, is it matching with our solution? No. So answer A is out. And 1 plus square root of 30. Is it matching? Of course it is, guys. 6.47723. And then it is the random form. So the answer is just B here. Like I found both solutions. And I'm just checking whether, like, which of this is matching. That's all. Question 16. A circle in the circle A in the xy plane has the equation this. Okay. Circle B has the same center as circle A. The radius of the circle B, guys, they have the same center, but the radius of the circle B is twice the radius of the circle A. The equation defining this, okay, what is the First of all, guys, if you find the radius of the circle A by using the circle equation, guys, you must know the circle equation here, x minus x0 square plus y minus like y0 square equals radius square. And now the radius of the circle A, radius square of the circle A equals 25, so the radius A equals to 5. And question is saying that in circle B, it is twice. So which means the radius of the circle B now equals 10, and this k, guys, equals like 10 square, which is the radius square, and we're gonna have the answer 100. Guys, CM geometry, like for most of the geometry questions, like we cannot use the decimals, you have to know the concept. I'm using the circle equation and then doing everything one by one. So question like the one 17 now, the graph of y equal f of x is shown. For what value of x does f of x equals to 0? Guys, f of x equals to 0 means your y value equals 0, right? And when the y value equals to 0, you have to find x-intercept of the function. Like when y equals to 0, you have to look for x-intercept, and then that's approximately at 4, right? Because we have the point 4 and 0. So the answer is D here. What is some of the solutions to the given equation? Again, like decimable, you guys can solve like almost all the equations with decimals. So we have now 3x, okay, minus 30 and plus 3 divided by 6 now equals to 50. No, 5. Okay, and the solutions are, like that's at 1, right? This is at 1 when the value of x is 1, and then another one is here like 19 if I'm not. Yeah, guys, 1 and 19 are our solutions. So 1 plus 19 are the solutions, and their sum equals now 20. That's all, guys. Their sum is just equals to 20 now, and then the answer is C. Yep. So question 19, line H is defined by this. Line J is perpendicular to line H in the xy plane. What is the slope of line J? Guys, that's also the concept you must know. Like when the lines are perpendicular, the product of their slope, like m1 multiplied by m2, must be -1. So then, first of all, we have to find the slope of this line, and then okay, you have to write this equation in this one, y equals mx plus b, and then after we are gonna have, we can also do it by decimals, like writing these equations and getting the 2 points. So let's see this version first. We're gonna have like 1/5 y now equals 1 over 2, like minus 1 over 2x and plus 40. And to find the slope, you must divide the equation by 1 over 5. So y equals, when you divide by 1 over 5, guys, you are gonna have, or like when you multiply by this, you're gonna have negative 5 over 2x plus 200. So the slope of the given line is negative 5 over 2, which means the slope of the perpendicular line must be 2 over 5, right? Like negative 5 over 2 multiplied by m must be negative 1. So the value of m equals 2 over 5. Like this is, guys, what I do by hand. And then the Desmos way, look, we're going to write the equation 1 over 2x plus, so 1 over 5y, 1 over 5y minus 40 now equals to 0, 0. And then we're going to have the line. So guys, you can just choose 2 points. Let's say these are the x-intercepts of the function. And then just create a table. Enter these 2 points, 0 to 100. So 0 to 100. And another one is now 80, 0. 80 and 0. And then just, guys, use the regression here. So as you can see, the slope is now negative like 2.5. The slope of the given line is negative 2.5. So the perpendicular must be negative 2.5 multiplied by m, now negative 1. So m is 0.4 and the fractional form is 2 over 5. Like we can also do it by Desmos, as you guys can see. And okay, this is also Desmosable now, 2 over 5. And question 20. The width of the rectangle is 16 inches, less than twice its length. In inches, the area of the rectangle is 130 square inches. What is the width in inches of the rectangle? Guys, write your equation. Width now equals 16 inches less than twice its length, like 2L minus 16. And then the area of the rectangle is now 130 square inches. What is the width? So area means it is width multiplied by length now equals 130. And you have to find the width. It is, guys, like after creating the equation, you can solve by Desmos. So you guys can use this one, like the square brackets. So we have width, which equals 2L minus 16. And area, so width times length, now equals to, what was that, 130. The width is 16 length, then twice its length, the area of the rectangle. Okay, negative 16. Guys, like since it is the quadratic equation, guys, yeah, like when you write this by one, guys, you're gonna have quadratic equation, and you are going to have two solutions, like the positive and then the negatives. So now, guys, we have to choose the positives because the side lengths cannot be a negative number, right? So therefore, the answer is now like 10 because that's asking for width, and which equals to 10 now. Like I just added this thing, W is greater than 0. That's all. And question 21. A machine makes 8-inch, 9-inch, and 3-inch parts during a certain day. The number of 8-inch parts that the machine makes is 5 times the number of n of 9-inch parts. Guys, 9-inch parts you are making n, and question is saying that 8-inch part is 5 times. So 8-inch parts is 5 times, which is 5n. And then 3-inch parts is 4. So 3-inch parts you have like 4. During this day, machine makes 100 parts total. Which equation represents this situation? Guys, 100 is the total number of parts you did. And here, these numbers are n plus 5n plus 4 now equals to 100. So the answer is just D here. This is word problem, and you have to understand. And then the last one, an exponential model for the number of squirrels in a certain area. Estimate that there were like 200 squirrels in the area in the year 2000, and at the end of each 4-year period for the next 20 years, the number of squirrels in the area was 120% more than the number at the end of the previous 4-year period. Which of the following equation represent this situation? Okay, since there is the exponential functions, the simple equation or the general form equals a times b in the power x. Guys, here a is always your initial value, like initial value, and b is the rate of change. Like how, guys, your function is increasing or decreasing, that defines you this, and x is the time. And here now the initial number, it is saying that 200 in 2003, so y equals 200, and that is like 120% more. Like every 4-year period it is increasing by 120%. So guys, don't forget, you always have like 1 plus like 120 divided by 100. Like 1 is the original and you're adding 120 to this. And if it is, guys, every 4-year period, like the number is increasing every 4 years. So we, in the power, guys, it must be always x divided by 4. Whenever you see the word like in exponential functions, like every 4 years or every 4 hours, every 4 months, it is always time divided by that number. And after, we're gonna have y equals 200. So, and when you add them all, you're gonna have 2.2, and then the power x divided by 4. So that's all, guys. The answer is now D here, 200 initial, 2.2, and t over 4 in the power. So, and this was the end of the model 1, guys. Honestly, like here, I didn't do all the calculations, like how many questions we did by Dasmos, but let's do it now. And also, guys, if you have any questions in model 1, you can write any questions in module 1. So until I will be calculating. So this is Desmos 1, 2, 3, 4, not Desmos 5, 6, and 7. Oh, guys, in module 1, like we did half of the questions fully by using the Desmos. Like half of the questions in module 1, just Desmos. Like, also we have some questions that I use it to do the calculations, but these 11 questions are fully done. 11 questions are fully done with Desmos. So yeah, and now guys, let's move on to the second model, and maybe guys we're gonna have like more questions here to solve by Desmos, and then let's check it. So in the figure shown, line K intersects line OK. If W equals 144, which additional piece of information is sufficient to prove that lines R and S are parallel? Guys, let's just check one by one. You have W angle 141, and then option A, x equals 39. Guys, if your x itself is 39, like even the lines are not parallel. If R and S are not parallel, x is still 39, so it cannot be sufficient here. And B, y equals 141. Okay, guys, that's now matching, because when the two lines are parallel, W and Y are the corresponding angles. So when the corresponding angles are equal, then the two lines are parallel. And of course, the answer is now B. Let's check the answer. W plus Y equals 180. No, guys, W equals Y here, not there. Sum equals like 180. Or Y plus Z. The same. Y plus Z is still like 180, even if the lines are not parallel. Okay, and second question, guys, let me just write module 2, we're starting. Oh, okay, it's like question 3, please. Like, we got a question there. This is, guys, what I did with the Desmos. Like, you just create an equation, like, just write STDV, the standard deviation, and enter the all, like the things you have. And instead of P, you can use a number. For example, it is P minus like 5. I'm only writing the option D, and P minus 4. And we've got like P, we've got P, and P plus 4, and P plus 5. And add slider for P, like no matter what, we're gonna have the same standard deviation, which is 4.52. That's all. The question is asking the largest, therefore the answer was D. So, yeah. And I hope that one is understandable. So, okay. Question 2. A line passes through the points this and xy plane. What is the slope? Yeah, that's possible. Guys, again, we're gonna do the same method. Create a table at the points where 7 and 18, 28, and add the regression. So the slope is 1.5 now. So the slope is 1.5. That's possible. The length of the rectangle's diagonal is 106. The length of one of the rectangle's sides now. What's the perimeter of this rectangle? Okay, draw the rectangle. Diagonal is now the square root of 106. And length of one of the rectangle side is 9. So let's say this side is 9. What is the perimeter, guys? First of all, you have to find this thing, like length, and then the perimeter. So, now guys, length. By the way, here we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem because it is 90 degree and length 9 and you've got the hypotenuse. So length square plus 9 square now equals square root of like 106. Okay, square. And length is 5. The question is asking to find the perimeter. Its perimeter is, we know that length plus 9 times 2, which is now 28. Yeah, the calculation part is possible with Desmos, but guys, understand, it is not fully solved by Desmos. You have to know the Pythagorean here, and then the perimeter rule. Question 4, which of the following is the solution to the given equation? Yeah, that one is now Desmosable. Like, you can write the given equations, 5x plus 6, and then 8x minus 5, now equals to 0. Solutions negative 1.2 and this number. So then check the answers. We have negative 8 over 5. Is that matching? No, it is not matching with the negative answer. Or guess you can also do like this. Negative 1.2, the fractional is this. And 0.625, the fractional form is this. So these are now the two solutions, and look for which of them we have. Option B, negative 6 over 5. Yeah, fully Desmosable. Question 5. The graph of this in the xy plane is a line. What is the slope of the line? Still Desmosable, but you guys can just write the equation y equals negative 9x plus 16. And this negative 9 is our slope now. 6. A solution to the given system of equation where x is less than 0. What is the value of y? Again, Desmos, guys, we have x square plus y square now equals to 3185, and then y minus 8x equals to 0. Guys, look, it is asking for when the value of x is less than 0, x is less than 0, value of y. It is now negative 56. Negative 56 is the answer. So B and Desmosable. You have this function. What is the value of a? That one is also Desmosable. Write the function. So f of x equals, we have x plus 11 divided by 5. And that's asking for f of a, negative 15. Okay, what is the value of a? Negative 86. So the answer is A. Question 8. The equation gives the estimated height above the ground y in square meters of a plane where x is the number of seconds since it started a parabolic maneuver. If this equation is graphed in the xy plane, which of the following is the best interpretation of the vertex? Okay, look guys, it is now giving us the height, estimated height, and we know that now x is represent us the seconds. So, and then the vertex coordinates, guys, here are something 8.9 and then like 12,400. These are the vertex coordinates, and the vertex all the time represent us the maximum or minimum points. And now here it is the maximum point, so you can say that after 8.9 seconds it reached the maximum point, which is 12,400. And find which of this is matching. The plane reached an estimated maximum height of 12,400 meters, 4.9. No, it is not 4.9, it is after 8.9, and then the answer is B. The maximum height and the time is matching, that's all. Question 9. In the given equation, it has exactly one solution. Which of the following cannot be the value of A? Okay, like we can just do it with Desmos. Y now equals like A 4 minus X, and then the second equation here, Y equals like 28 minus 7X. And instead of A, guys, write the one of the answers, like, and then C. When the value of A is 1, so we're having a one solution. The question is asking which cannot be. So A can be the, like 1 can be the value, which means it is out. And when you plug 4, still we're gonna have a solution. So that is also possible. And we're gonna have 7. Guys, we are having infinitely many solutions. Like, because the lines are the same here, so it cannot be the value of A, guys, because when you plug 7 instead of A, you're having like infinitely many solutions, but you need exactly 1. And also just check with the option D, like 28, still we're gonna have a solution here. So it is now C only. And then we have the question 10, guys. Just one more thing. Yeah. The function g is this one, where t is a constant in the xy plane. The graph of y equals g of x passed through the point 24, 0. What is the value of g of 0? Desmos, guys, like we have the function g of x now equals, so x plus 13, and then t minus x. Of course, the question is saying that we got a point g of 24 equals to 0, right? G of 24 equals to 0, and that's showing us the value of t, but the question is asking g of 0. Okay, just write g of 0, and that is now 312, totally done by Desmos. 312 Desmosable. Question 11. In triangle QRS, shown QR is less than RS, which expression represents the length of QS? So QS is the hypotenuse, and SR is given 23. And which of this we're gonna use, guys? Cosine Q. Okay, cosine Q, guys, find the cosine Q. We know that cosine is the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. But if you now use it, guys, we are going to use QR, which is not like necessary here because we don't have anything with related to QR. We have 23, which is RS. So I'm not going to use cosine. Find the sine, guys. Sine Q. Sine Q now equals, we know that it is the opposite leg divided by the hypotenuse. So 23 divided by QS. And from that equation, you can find the length of QS, which is going to be 23 divided by sine Q. That's all. The answer now there. Guys, look for what you have. Like we've got the side, like based on the angle, it is the opposite side and hypotenuse. So in the after opposite side and the hypotenuse gives you the sine. So therefore, guys, we're using the sine here, not the cosine. Question 12, this given, what is the value of k? Okay guys, we can solve by Desmos. Like write the function. Guys, I'm gonna write it with f of x thing, like f of x now equal 5 and the power x plus k. And to find the value of k, just choose any point that is lying on the graph. For example, you can choose the y-intercept, which is now f of 0 equals like -7. So I'm gonna write it f of 0 equals -7 and k is -8. That's all, -8, and that's also Desmosable. Question 14. Oh, we have a beekeepers. Initial observation of the population of a certain bee colony was 1800 bees. Okay guys, let's solve this one by yourself because the question is interesting and also this requires some time to solve. And by the way, like this is not that much small, but still we can, if there's a way, let's give it a try. So I guess we can start now. I saw that like you got Asal who solved this question by using the Desmos. Yet like yeah, let's see this one. And look guys, here I hope you read the initial number is 1800 bees and the beekeeper sought a goal to increase the population to 300 bees. The beekeeper used a model that predicts the population of this bee colony begins at 800, so that's the initial number, and increased by 120 bees per week in the first 2 weeks. Like in the first 2 weeks, that number is increased by 120, okay. And then increased by 180 bees per week until the beekeeper's goal is reached. According to this model, at the end of the week W, after initial observation where W is greater than 2, we show the following function gives the predicted number of bees still needed to reach the beekeeper's goals. Okay, first of all, guys, I will be explaining the hand method. Since you have to find how many bees you need, guys, you have to first find what is the function for increase. So that's now 1800, the initial B, and in the first 2 weeks that increased by 120, so it is like 2 multiplied by 120, and for the rest of the weeks it is increasing by 180, and W minus 2, guys. Here W is the number of weeks, and then understand like there's already 2 weeks passed, so therefore guys, since in the first 2 weeks it increased by 120, I'm subtracting 2 weeks, and this is the equation to find the number of bees, but you have to find how many bees you needed. So your goal is 300, and you have to subtract this one fully so that you guys can get the final answer. This is the way. Like first of all, I found what is the gross equation like in bees, and I'm subtracting that from 300 to find how many bees still needed to reach the goal. Yep. And guys, if we explain the Desmos way, like the Asal did, we're gonna have like just one thing, table. Okay guys, create a table, and also understand you must find like how many bees like needed. So after 2 weeks, that's gonna be like 300 initial minus 1800, where you guys also can write it like this, 1800 plus 2 times 120. That's guys how many bees increased, and why I'm subtracting, because to find how many bees you needed to reach the goal. And after 3 weeks, that is 300 minus, okay, again the initial is 180 and 2 times 120 and plus 180, because after 3 weeks guys, you need this number of bees increased. If you subtract, you're gonna have how many bees you needed, and then the regression, we're gonna have minus 180x plus 1620. Yeah, that's guys the beautiful Desmos way if you understand the concept. Like so far I didn't do this question by the Desmos, but now as I'll give the idea, that's cool. So just the thing here to share on. Yes. Capture. Send. That's all. And then we can say this is Desmosable, but still you need a good logic to understand it. And the answer was C. Question 14, the function f is given, okay, where for any positive integer n, the value of f of n is p% less than this. What is the value of p? Yeah, that is just a Desmosable. Write the function f of x, guys, I'm gonna write with an x, and then we have 55 and 0.19 and then the power of x, and f of n, guys, which means let's choose any positive integer, like I'm choosing 5. F of 5 is, like by using the tilde, p% less, that means it is 1 minus p over 100 multiplied by f of n minus 1, which is 5 minus 1, where you can also guys write with n, like n, and you can add an integer here. For example, n is 10. Still, guys, the value of p is 81. That's totally Desmosable, and then the answer is now 81, which is D. Desmos. Question 15. Okay, guys, this is also Desmosable, but let's see your method. Like, we can solve this with the Desmos. Okay, question 15. Desmos. Guys, also like share your Desmos way in the comments. Maybe like we can learn something new here. So I guess we can start now. And look, guys, of course, that is Desmosable now. Like, it is r of x multiplied by s of x equals to this. So I'll be writing down, like, instead of r of x, so it is 13 times x1 minus 2 here, right? And then that one is now multiplied by this x1 cube, guys, plus nx1 square, and plus we have 2nx1 plus like 8. And after, guys, it is just tilde, write the rest. Like, we're gonna have equals 13, so x1 to the power of 4 minus 16. And all the time, guys, don't forget to add one more thing here, which is equals, like x1 equals random, like let's say 5 numbers. Yep, still the value of n equals 2. The final answer is 2 here, and that's Desmosable. And the previous question, guys, we also just write it to the Desmos. Like, a Desmos here works like this. Write the function itself, f of x, equals now 55, 0.19, and in the power of x. And question is saying that f of n, right, is, like is means just equal, or we can use the tilde sign. F of n now equals p% less. Guys, if it is p% less, we must do like 100 minus p over 100 and multiply it by f of n minus 1. And instead of n here, I'll be using any positive integer, for example 12. And then the value of n is 12, the value of p is 81, the final answer. Just like we're using the Desmos, creating an equation, and that's all. So yeah, of course. And next question we're solving. 16, guys. The triangle inequality theorem states that the sum of any two sides of the triangle must be greater than the length of the third. If a triangle has side lengths of 10, 11, which equal to represent the possible length x of the third side. Guys, to find the third side of the triangle, if you already have the two sides, that x must be between like 10 minus 11, the absolute value of this, and then 10 plus 11. This is a shortcut, like x must be now between 1 and then 21. That's all. C option. If you already have two sides, to find the third one, it must be the difference and then the sum. Question 17. An area of 58 square nautical miles is equivalent to k square kilometers. To the nearest tens, what is the value of k? So 58 square nautical miles. Guys, we have a square here. So 58 nautical mile, 58 nautical mile square. We have to find it in k square kilometers. So guys, I'll be writing 1 nautical mile equals this kilometer. Here guys, we have to calculate what is 1 nautical mile square. So I'm going to write 1 nautical mile equals 1.852 kilometers. And to cancel this square, guys, it must be a square here as well. And then we're gonna have 58 multiplied by 1.852 square. That's all, guys. We just need to square here and then do the calculation. 58 multiplied by 1.852 in the power of 2. So the answer is 198.9, guys. You can write 4 numbers, you know, right? And here, like, we have to round the last 3. So when you round that 3, it's going to be 198.9. 198.9, the final answer. And we solve by hand. 198.9. Question 18. A line in the xy plane passes through the points this. What is the value of c? Okay, guys, look here. I'll be using this method. F of x now equals like the linear equation mx plus b, and I'll be entering all the points here by using this method. So I'm going to write the x coordinates first, 9, 0, and c. So 9, 0, and c. And here, guys, write the corresponding y coordinates, which are 1, 8, 1, 8, and then 0. That's all. M is this, B is this, and the value of C is something like this. Just write C, and you can get the fractional form, guys. Like, we are just finding everything at once, and the value of C now equals 72 over 7, which is that number. And question 19. Yeah, I've explained this one. An engineer connects resistors in series where the resistor in the series have a total resistance of 41 over 63 ohms. In this series, there are X resistors of type A, which each have a resistance of A ohms, Y resistors of type B, each have a resistance of B ohms. Guys, understand, like, what is going on? Here, guys, you have like X resistors, and each of them have A ohms. And to find the total, guys, to find the total ohms, you have to multiply A by X, like A in each one, and X is the number of resistors. And I'm gonna add it, like in resistor B, you have Y resistors, and each of them have B ohms. So that will be b multiplied by y to find the total. And I will be equalizing it to 41 divided by 63. That's all. Like ax plus by equals 41 over 63. The question is asking, where, guys, just understand what we found now. It is like total. It is just total, like in ohms. Like just to compare with the given equation, it is x over 7, y over 9, 41 over 63, which is the total ohms. And you can write this equation 1 over 7x as in the coefficient of x plus 1 over 9y equals 41 over 63. So the value of a is 1 over 7, the value of b is 1 over 9. Question is asking to find the difference between them. And then like 1 over 7 minus 1 over 9, we're gonna have 63, 9, 7, and 2. Yeah, 2 over 63, guys, is now the final answer here. I'm creating an equation and understanding the given equation. That's all. And we have question 20. So the table gives the areas and the perimeters of two similar rectangles where n is a constant. Okay, what is the value of n? Guys, understand. If the shapes are the similar, like the ratio of the perimeters, let's say perimeter 1 divided by perimeter 2 equals k, and ratio of the areas like S1 divided by S2 must be k squared. That's all, guys. This is the simple like logic here. So from that saying, you can understand the ratio of the areas. So let's write it down. Like 640 divided by 660 divided by 2640. We're using the tilde sign, guys. Instead of k, I'll be using that perimeters ratio. 220 divided by n must be in square. That's all, guys. I guess everything is understood, right? Like from that, both of them, guys, we're gonna have S1 divided by S2 equals, instead of k, you can use P1 divided by P2 just in square. And now I'm using this thing, the ratio of the areas equals the square of the ratio of the perimeters, and then the value of n is 440 now. So the answer is D. And the question 21, like this is also something you have to understand. In 2005, Aster earned 12% more than in 2014, and in 2016, Aster earned 6% more than in 2005. If Aster earned y times as much in 2004 as in 2000x, which of the following is closest to the value of y? Okay, let's say like in 2004, Aster earned like x dollars, and in 2005, it is gonna be like 12% more, which means like 1.12 multiplied by x, right? You have to multiply by 1.12. And then the last year, in 2006, Aster earned 16% more than in 2005. So it means it is 1.06 multiplied by 1.12x. So this is the amount Aster earned in 2006. The question is saying that if Aster earned y times as much in 2004 as in 2006, which are the following is close to the value of y? Guys, understand. To find the value of y here, the earning, for example, in 2004 now equals y multiplied by earning in 2006. Like this is the base of the equation, y times as much in 2004 as in 2006. Like they are comparing the 2004 to 2006. And then we're gonna have this equation here. And we know that instead of 2004, I'm gonna use an x, y multiplied by this all, like 1.06 multiplied by 1.12x. And the x's are cancelled. We're gonna have 1 here, guys, don't forget. And to find the value of y, it is 1 divided by 1.06 and multiplied by 1.12. This is, guys, the final answer, 0.8423, which is given in the option C. It is, guys, just an understanding here. Y times as much in if you guys create a, like, let's say a template, we're gonna have, for example, y times, let me guys write it in the whiteboard. So look guys, y times as much a as b means that a equals like y multiplied by b. That's all. Y times as much a as b, that means a equals y multiplied by b, and here guys we're doing the same like in 2004 and 2006. And last question, which expression is a factor of this? Guys, for the factoring questions I all the time solve by hand, and today I will solving by hand as well. So let's see, maybe we got a Desmos way. Y square equals this. So x minus 9. Okay, guys, let's just solve by hand as well, this one. So we're gonna have now, like, since x minus 1 is the common in both of them, like I will just get this. So x minus 9. And in the second bracket, we're gonna have y squared minus 36. And x minus 9 like square, right? And as you guys can see, x minus 9 is the first factor, and we have to factorize this thing now. So have, like guys, understand, y squared minus, I can write this as like this, 6x minus 54. No. Yeah, look guys, understand this thing. Like we know that 36 is the square of 6, right? So then you guys can easily write it down like 6 square multiplied by x minus 9 square, right? And here guys, if you take that squares out, we're gonna have y squared minus y squared minus 6x minus 54 square, and that is gonna be like a squared minus b squared, and we know like it is separated like y minus 6x plus 54 and y plus 6x minus 54. It is just like a squared minus b squared separated like a minus b and a plus b, and now we're doing the same. Y squared minus 6x minus 54 squared, so it is y minus 6x plus 54, and then y plus 6x minus 54. So these are now the factors, and the one given in the option D, y plus 6x minus 54. And we solve by hand this one as well. Like maybe there's a Desmos way, personally I don't know. Like for most of the factor questions I do by hand, and I guess that's a bit easier, and that's all. So, and let's just count guys how many questions we did solve by using the Desmos. Like this is we solve by hand, like by hand because we need the concept by hand, and hand, no, that one is now Desmos. Well, question 18, so we got 1, and we've got 2 questions, and third, okay, let's count this one, 4 and 5 and 6 question, and 7 and 8, and this one is the 9 and 10, 11, yeah, it's the same. Like 11 questions, again, we solve by using the Desmos. Like, first of all, module 2, guys, any questions? Like, if you have any questions in module 2, you can write it down. But the same thing now, like half of the questions, 11 questions. fully done by Desmos. Like, personally, I have no idea now, like, how to approach with the Desmos for this. But if there's a way, guys, to solve by Desmos, like, you can share on the comments. Like, maybe we have the way, but so far I didn't have. And the one, guys, the last, and we finished it. And as you guys can see that, like, we cannot solve like all the questions by Desmos, right? We couldn't solve all of them by Desmos. So that means the concept is also important. Like, you have to learn the topic, you have to know the concept, and also like an easy ways for this kind of the questions. And one more thing, guys, like here, like, if there's anyone who are taking the test in December, like as you guys see in the previous like post, we're doing the like a Desmos and intensive course. Like that covers both of them. Like we will give you guys, I will give you the concept and also like the Desmos, both of them in one course, and you guys can like learn it maximally in both ways, like Desmos and then the by hand. So guys, like you can still join like our December like Desmos and intensive math course. And also, guys, one more thing, like those who like wrote me yesterday in DMs, guys, I couldn't check and I couldn't respond. But now you can do, guys, like if that is interesting. Like we're gonna start the course on Wednesday, because the lessons will be held on like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the evenings. And yeah, guys, like in the course, you will see much more about the Desmos and much more about like the concept and then the topics in the CTMS. And now, okay, Imran, you want to speak?
Assalomu alaykum ustoz.
Walaikum assalom.
Ustoz, mana shuni keyin bitta darsda ham o'tib bera olasizmi? Yaxshilab ishlashni o'rganib olaylik.
Qaysi birini?
Yo'q, o'zim mana shu Desmosda ishlashni, chunki men sal kechroq join qildim-da, o'shanga yaxshi yetkazib olmadim. Atak videodan ko'rib tushunib olishga harakat qilaman lekin.
Of course.
Kattakon rahmat ustoz.
So, yep, guys, I guess that's over now. Like, if you don't have any questions, like, we can finish it now. And, guys, goodbye, take care, have a good night, thanks for joining, and then thanks for, like, spending your time here. Good luck, guys.